Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rudy. Thank you so much for being here when you could be so many other places. I look whiter than the snow white that is outside my window. Look at this. This is my current view. It is so snowy outside in Nashville right now. And I love it. I love having a good snow day, but I don't necessarily love having it like 4 days in a row where I can't leave the house. So that's currently where we're at. The snow started falling on Monday, and in Nashville, we get snow once a year. Literally once a year, and all hell breaks loose. No one can drive. It's crazy. It's like we have like 20 salt trucks for the whole city, and I grew up driving in the snow. I'm from Indiana, so I know how to drive in the snow, but it has nothing to do with that. It's that the roads are not properly prepared. So we've been in the house for 3 days and we're going a little stir crazy. But tonight we are getting out of the house and going to a friend's house for dinner, and I want to wear a little bit of makeup, and I asked you guys on my Instagram, which is at the Rudi Berry, what kind of content you wanted me to film for the week, and I got a few shop my stash get ready with me's, and I thought that would be perfect because one, I really want to focus on revisiting old favorites. I have not been like really fired up by new launches like I used to be, because there are so many good pieces of makeup out there that deserve to be worn that are in my collection that I don't want to forget about. There are a ton of new releases that have come out recently that are very, very good, and I typically have shorts on those if you do want to see like more of new release style content. But I also wanted to have this video focused on me trying to kind of play with the different formulations that I have in my collection to really amplify my skin because it is so dry right now. So we just put on our humidifier, and things are dry. Things are really dry. My lips are dry, my skin is dry, and I feel like my foundation and my concealer is sitting on top of my skin, and it's just really, really starting to bother me. So we are going to play around and see what we can do to hydrate this face. So if that sounds interesting to you, please keep on watching. As I said, my name is Rudy. We talk about skincare, makeup, hair care, body care. We kind of do old YouTube with newer style makeup. So I'd love to have you subscribe. Okay, I waited through that before I put on my lip balm because I wanted to show you what I use, but look at these lips. They're so freaking trapped and wrinkly. So the first thing that we're gonna do is hydrate the face and hydrate the lips to get it ready for makeup, because things are bad. So what I'm gonna do, there are a few products obviously while we shop our stash that are things that I use all the time that you're just gonna see. You're just gonna see them because I use them all the time. Including this product. This is the Refi Lip Buff. This is my favorite lip exfoliator. It's actually a physical exfoliator. This tip is like little plastic silicone bristles, and then a hydrating hyaluronic acid serum comes out of the middle. So it gives a little bit of plumpness to your lips with the hyaluronic acid, and it helps physically exfoliate the lips and bring a little bit of blood to the top of the lips, so it helps plump them up a little bit as well. This is the best lip prep. It doesn't feel great. I'm not gonna lie to you, like it doesn't feel great, but it doesn't hurt, and it works so well. I just prefer this over like one of those that maybe like are a little bit less expensive that are flavored and like are coffee grounds or whatever. That's just like easy. You can clean the tip of it, and then I just kind of like dab off the serum when I'm done, because usually there's like little bits of lip on there, and I have a booger. And I have a booger on top of it all. Then we're gonna lock it in with a lip treatment. I have been using this one from Nude Sticks over my Rhode because my clear Rhode is downstairs. Nude Sticks Hydra Peptide Lip Butter, and this is in the clear shade. I don't think these got the love that they deserved. I love these almost as much, if not as much, as the Rhode. They're a little bit of a thinner formulation, but the shine on these are unmatched. I can see why maybe not everybody would be into this, because one, it has a minty feel on the lips and it has a minty smell, whereas a lot of the Rhodes are unscented, and I know that not a lot of people like that, and because it's a little bit thinner, people might not be as into it, but the colors that they released in this are absolutely stunning, and the clear shade is so good. So I highly recommend trying that out. If you've been annoyed with the fact that the Rhode ones have been kind of grainy, that will not happen with this one. It's so nice. And I like a minty feeling on my lips personally. And I prefer the Nude Sticks one over both of the Saltaire and the Persona Cosmetics Clear, which I also have. But I've just been really going for this one lately. I mean, look at my lips. They look so much better than they did just 2 seconds ago. Okay, before we hydrate the face, I do need to do my eyebrows, and this is just gonna have to be what it is because you guys know my obsession with this duo. These were both winners of the Very Best Awards this year, the Rare Beauty Laminating Eyebrow Gel and the NYX Lift and Snatch. I have so many videos of me doing this duo. I will have my editor kind of fast forward through this part so that you can see it, but just know that this is the product I use almost every single day to get my brows laid down, and it is really important that you do it on clean, dry skin before you do your skin prep, or else you will get those like little balls that make your eyebrows look like you have dandruff in them. I've already gone through like 2 of these, and I have one upstairs and downstairs because I love them so much, but I do feel like they need a minute to dry before you go in with a pen on top of them, just so that you're not mixing the formula of the liquid pen and the gel, because it can clog the tip of the felt tip pen. So anytime you're using a felt tip, you want to make sure the area that you're applying it to, whether it be like literally my freckle pen or an eyebrow pen or whatever, you want to make sure that that area is pretty much dry and not like actually sopping wet with something, or else it will get into the pen and it can change the formula, the color, things like that. I've had people say like, oh, my freckle pen is turning green, and I think it's because the formulation of maybe their SPF or whatever it is that they're wearing underneath didn't have enough time to sit before the freckle pen went on top. So if that's you, let me know, but that's just one of my theories, is felt tip products, they need to go on a more drier surface or they will suck up whatever is underneath them. Okay, the brows are filled. I just saw someone on TikTok say like, beauty gurus, why do you always do your brows off camera? Like, what's happening off camera? What are you hiding from us? And I thought that was so funny. The only thing is that it just takes so long, and most of us do it the same way every single time, so that's why. Okay, next up, we've been doing this for almost 10 minutes and I only have my eyebrows on. I'm gonna go with an oldie but a goodie primer. That is the Radiant Primer Serum from Neutrogena. This is one of my favorite just hydrating, classic sort of hyaluronic acid and peptide based primers, and it has a little bit of like a bronzy shimmer in it. It is very light. It doesn't show up on the skin. It just gives you like a really hydrated feel, and this works really well under almost all of my products. Just very lightweight, it's very hydrating, and sinks in very quickly. I love this stuff, and I think that this could be used in the place of something like the Rhode Peptide Glazing Fluid, because this also has peptides in it. Or any lightweight skin primer that you like. I like to use this. It's inexpensive. It gives you a glow. It's not too crazy, and it works on most skin types because it is like a water-based serum and just sinks into the skin so well. I did one of those Everlywell skin prick tests the other day because I'm working with a dietitian now for my IBS. Turns out I shouldn't have done that because those things don't even freaking work, but I did it, and it hurt. I got this middle finger here, and it gave me a bruise all the way to my nail, and so I just don't even want to use this little finger. It hurts so bad. I am a baby, just putting it out there. Wah, wah, wah. Baby. For foundation today, I really need to think long and hard about this because I've been trying a few lately, and it has been, like yesterday I used the Pat McGrath foundation, and it's so thin. I should have known better that it was not going to work in the winter time, but I just really like it. So in my head, I'm thinking we need something a little bit thicker, and because I'm just going to a friend's house, I'm kind of thinking of doing a skin tint. So I'm thinking an oldie but a goodie. I haven't used this in so long. This is the Say Beauty Slip Tint. I mean, I have not used this in like maybe a year because there's just been so many other things that have come out. So let's do it. Let's freaking do it. I'm gonna use it with their brush. This is a giant ass kabuki brush that they recommend you use this with. And I love this brush. It does a really good job of blending product into the skin without sucking up too much of it. I think this formula could be used with a sponge, which I do have at the ready because recently I have been using a brush for everything. And I'm like, why is my skin looking so dry? Babe, use a sponge. You know this. Like, what's wrong with you? Although I would use a sponge for this, this brush was literally made for this product and it works really well. So I want to use it. And yeah, my skin is just soaking this up. This was a good choice. The only problem is this brush does kind of soak up a lot of product because it is kind of big. I mean, it's called the big brush. It's huge, but it's really nice, and it just blends everything seamlessly. This was one of the first skin tints I like ever really tried, because I feel like skin tints didn't really have a moment until 2019 or 2020, and now everybody has a skin tint because people want to wear lighter coverage. But I remember trying this and being like, this is the weirdest feeling skin tint I had ever tried at the time. Because it's like this gooey cream. And I feel like most skin tints around that time were almost basically like a foundation, or they were just a tinted moisturizer. So I did not know what I was getting into with Saie, and I love Saie Beauty, okay? I absolutely love Saie Beauty, but I will say, hashtag, I cannot do a full face of their products because it's literally grease central. Grease central. Like, this is probably the only Saie product that I can use because look at the shine that it gives you. Imagine using the concealer in their cream blush and their oily highlighter and their oily blushes. Like, everything has this finish to it that they make. Every single thing. So I could not do that. But I love the brand for being able to like put one hydrating slash sort of dewy product into my look. But yeah, I've learned the hard way that if you want to look natural, you can definitely do a full face of Saie, but you will also be looking like you just ran a marathon in Miami. Speaking of, I was just looking at my foundation drawer. I did not like this foundation from them, and I haven't touched it in months. Look at this layer of oil on the top of the foundation. I just haven't used it. I do not like it. It clings to dry patches. It makes my pores look weird. I don't like it, and literally look how much oil is separated in this product. That is crazy to me. Like, that can't be, I don't know, you guys. It's just not for me. I still keep it because I like to make sure I'm reviewing things against other things, etc., etc. All right, let's talk about concealer. The under eyes are under eyeing, and my redness tends to kick up in the winter a lot more around my cheeks, nose, around my mouth, and my chin. So basically everywhere on my face except for my forehead. So I like to make sure I'm using a concealer that can kind of do it all for me. And right now in my head, let's think of something. We're shopping our stash. Let's not forget we're shopping our stash. Let's pull out this baddie. This might be too dark for me right now though. Yeah, never mind. Sorry. Things are light. Things are light and bright over here right now. I haven't tanned in 100 years. Okay, let's do this one. I haven't worn this in a while. This is the Born This Way Ethereal Light Illuminating Concealer from Too Faced. I loved this concealer, and I still do. Everything kind of gets to the back of your drawer after a while, and you just start to use other things, and that is why we are doing this video, to pull those things back out. And also, you know, your opinion on things can change over time, so I want to make sure that I'm doing videos like this so that I can try my products again and say, do I still like this the way that I liked it when I tried it the first time, so that I'm always being honest and upfront with you guys. So there's the right side done, and it's super blendable. It's really lightweight. It's got light coverage for sure. And if you are doing a sponge, it's gonna be pretty light. If you're using a brush, you can get a good light to medium coverage, and it blends beautifully with a brush. But again, because I'm so dry right now, I need to cling to the water that is within this sponge. It is so pretty having snow. I will say, like, we get snow maybe once a year in Nashville, and it's just kind of fun that the whole city literally is like, oh, it snowed, everybody stay inside. Like, our schools were closed for almost the entire week because we got snow. Which in Indiana, I remember I went to IU, go Hoosiers, Indiana University. And one year it was so cold out that they literally were like, we're still having class, just make sure that you wear a scarf over your mouth so that your lungs don't freeze. Enjoy! Like, literally, that was the directive from like the dean. We were like, okay. Even though this is a completely walkable campus and there were buses, but we were walking everywhere and it was like 0 degrees. So I guess I'm just not used to that, and it makes me excited to think that my kids one day are gonna have like a lot of snow days. I never had snow days growing up. We were at school. We were not at home. All right, I layered a little bit more under the eye here where I have that trough. It looks super luminous, very glowy. I will say I still feel like I need a little bit more coverage in some of these places on my cheeks. Like, I wish I would have gone maybe with a foundation instead of a skin tint today, just because I feel like my skin is a little red and patchy. Not due to the skin tint, just because my skin is really dry. I think that's about as even as we're gonna get today, because the more I pick up on it, the more blending you do, you can kind of pick up what you've put down, and then it becomes a cycle. So before I even think about putting a powder on my face, I'm going to go in with our cream products, and then if I feel like I need to set by the end of this, I will, but I can already tell like the glow from the skin tint is starting to wear off because it is soaking into my skin like a freaking sponge. I immediately went to grab for my Makeup by Mario bronzer because that's what I want to use, but we're shopping our stash. We're shopping our stash and we're doing something different, okay? What should we do? You know what, let's do this. Let's do this. I was gonna do this NARS one, or this Tarte one, but I feel like in the winter, these can come off whenever I use a really warm tone bronzer. It can make me look a little orange because I am very fair right now. So we're gonna go in with the M Cosmetics So Soft bronzer in the shade Summer. These were some of my absolute favorite cream products when they came out, and they still are. Like, they're amazing. The blushes and the bronzers are so pretty, and you could easily just put them on your face and blend out, or you could put it on your hand and then blend out, which is what I'm doing because I want it to be really soft and diffused, and I don't want to use too much because, again, I'm really pale right now. This product has a special place in my heart because it was one of the first products that I had like a viral video about. Michaela Nagara, if you know her, she found me through that video and actually followed me because of that, and she used my video hook, which I've talked about before, where I was like, these are supposed to be the easiest cream bronzers on the market. And that kind of really instilled in me that I had what it takes to do this as a job and to be successful, because if people who are, you know, millions of followers ahead of me think that my content is interesting, not that I needed the validation, but it did help me in a time where I was doing a full-time job, like I was working at Eventbrite from 9 to 5, and then filming before work and after work, and let's be honest, sometimes during work, to try and make it online. So that was a fun moment for me, and every time I pull out this bronzer and that blush, I think about that, and I just love M Cosmetics. They've really made some amazing products this year. I think with a little bit of blending, this looks pretty natural considering, again, how pale I am. And it's super pretty. Again, that's in the shade Summer, and I will certainly be pulling that out more, but right now I'm so on my Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer because the shade is so cool toned. It just really works for me. All right, let us do a highlighter. I like to do my highlighter before my blush because I like them to blend together seamlessly. And sometimes I feel like when you put a highlighter on top of your blush, it can take away all of the highlight. We want to do a liquid highlight. I've recently been wearing a lot of the Say Glowy Super Gel and the Fenty similar Glowy Super Gel. So I'm gonna try and stay away from those. I've been wearing literally the Lisa Eldridge like every single day, so I want to stay away from that as well. I'm kind of thinking, I mean, I definitely want to pull out my Sephora collection one, but sadly it's been discontinued, so I don't want to use that and make you sad. So let's do this one. Ooh, you know what? Let's go super high end. I used to use this a lot. This is the Chanel Balm Essential, and this is in the shade Sculpting, which doesn't make any sense because it's a highlighter. But this is really pretty. It's like a beautiful balmy texture, and I'm gonna put that on my hand to warm it up, and then I'm gonna take my sponge and tap that in and lightly apply it to the skin that way instead of taking it straight to my face because I don't want to lift. But like, look how dewy and beautiful that looks. Ugh, I used to wear this a lot, so I'm glad I just put it up because I'll be honest with you, I didn't even remember that bitch was down there. I'll be honest with you. When you own as much makeup as I do, and I'm not saying that's a good thing, it's just a fact, things get buried. Things get buried. That should not be buried. A Chanel highlighter should not be buried. You could definitely apply this straight to the face, but again, I'm going for a really blended look, and because, again, I've said it a million times and I'll say it a million more, because my skin is dry, it's picking up stuff. Like, I already had the redness back around my nose because I touched it with my finger. I'm just trying to be really careful as to not have to continually reapply. Whenever I see that and it starts to get red just around my nose, what I'll do is take the NARS Pot Concealer, which also haven't used in a long time. This is the best for covering redness or acne. I've had quite a dent in it. I wear the shade Custard, which is funny because that was like the iconic shade back in the day. And I just take the littlest amount on my finger to warm it up, and I just tap it into those areas around my nose. Just like a couple of taps each, and it completely covers that redness without having to do like another round of foundation or another round of concealer. Boom, it's covered. I love this stuff so much. It is the best for covering acne and redness by far. All right, let's get into our blush options. options. I have a lot of blush, you guys. I mean, I wear blush like nobody's freaking business. And one that I was thinking about recently was the Merit blushes. I own every single Merit blush. I never wear those blushes. And I think it's time for me to say to myself that I don't love them because they don't last on the skin and they're too thin and too glowy. I need a blush that's gonna be somewhere in between the two. Something like a Tower 28. That's more of a satin finish that can really stick to the skin and stay all day. I love the Merit shades, but I feel like they just blend away into nothing. So let's really think about this. How about a Well People blush? Crazy, I know. There are certain products from Well People that I really, really like. I'm actually going to, after this, I'm going to do a swatch on their new lip oils for a short. But their blush sticks are really pretty. Well People is a brand that is owned by e.l.f. And these are my two shades in Blood Orange and Pomegranate Grenade. That's the one I want to use today. And again, it's like got that consistency that I really like. That is pigmented, but blendable, kind of sticks to the skin and has like a natural finish to it. That's what I want. I don't want a blush that just blends into nothingness, and I don't want a blush that is so pigmented that you can't blend it at all, i.e. the Rare Beauty blushes, i.e. the Merit blushes, on opposite ends of the spectrum. A blush that blends away into nothingness versus a blush that is running away on its own and you can't blend it for anything. I want to be able to put my blush down, blend it, and decide if I want to add more. I don't want to have to be either constantly adding more because you can't see it, or be blending it away because you put so much on. Which, you know me, I like to put a lot of blush on, but that's my prerogative. I know everybody's different, but these are really, really pretty. They're fairly inexpensive. They're not as affordable as e.l.f., but they are more of like the clean, natural sister to e.l.f. And I feel like they don't get a lot of attention. And they have some really good products. This is actually a Well People brush that I'm using. This is their contour complexion brush, and it's perfect for cream blush. I really like this, and I think this shade is really pretty and just like, and I don't know if you can see, but the blush and the highlighter have really melded together to be like a glowy cheek rather than having like the highlighter to place on top, which would then mess up the blush underneath. You're following. Okay, I do think I want to add just a touch of powder because we are looking a little oily. Actually, I do have a new powder that I kind of want to show you guys. I know this is the Shop My Stash, but powder is powder, okay? And this is one that I really want to show you. This is new from M Cosmetics. This is their Portrait Mode Refining Setting Powder. The packaging is gorgeous. I mean, come on, look at this. And it has a little powder puff in it with a pressed pink powder. This powder puff is really nice, but I'm just gonna use one of my little puffies because I like the triangle shape of my little puffies. I love a little triangle puffy. So I'm gonna take this. You really don't need much, even though it's pressed. It works, baby, it works. And I'm gonna blend out my little concealer line that I get and just tap that under the eye. I don't wanna go too far out to where my highlighter is because I wanna make sure that still looks glowy. I don't know if you can tell the difference between these two areas. Mattified, not mattified. And this stuff, it works like pretty quick, so you don't need a lot, and it just gives you a nice matte look without adding any powder to your skin. Like, it doesn't look powdery. I could see this getting hard pan because it is pressed. C'est la vie. It's not that, I mean, it happens. It happens, especially if you're busy and you don't have time to clean all of your stuff before you go in and use something. I feel like that made just enough of a difference that I don't feel so incredibly glowy. I still have that glow over here because I didn't touch those areas, but I don't feel it so much in the middle here, which is what I was trying to kind of get control of. So this is a small but mighty pressed powder, and I'm really enjoying it, so I just wanted to tell you guys, even though I know it's Shop My Stash. Technically, it's part of my stash. Okay, I do want to add also a little bit of a powder bronzer because I do think that I want to warm up the face a little bit because I used a darker blush than I thought I was gonna use. And I want to use a cooler toned bronzer. And I think I'm gonna go for this one from MAC. This is the MAC Radiant Skin Finish in the shade Light Rosy. And you can see, obviously, because it's called Light Rosy, that it has a little bit of a pink undertone to it. And I'm using this giant ass brush from Milk. It looks like a stiletto heel. And I literally just tap it in. And I'm just gonna apply this literally almost all over my face. Like, I just wanna add a little bit of warmth. So I'm just gonna literally tap tap this all over my face just to warm me up a little bit and bring it down the neck. And I'm going to lightly tap on a bit of a powder blush on top as well. And I wanted to show you one that I've had in my collection I haven't used in a long time, and now I'm like obsessed with it. This is a Giorgio Armani powder blush, and this is in the shade 61. It's their Luminous Silk Glow blushes. This is like the perfect little, take a little dab and just like right on the apples of the cheeks, and it makes all of my blushes look better. Every single one. I don't know what it is about this shade, but it's just really special. I like it a lot. And it matched that Well People blush very, very well. I have on too much blush. What's new? Okay, I am not gonna do that much with my eyes because, hello, I'm just going to a friend's house. So I'm just gonna do a little inner corner highlight, which, do I really have to be fancy about that? Do I have to? What do I have stash-wise? This used to be one of my favorite inner corner highlights. Let's use this. I haven't pulled it out in a really long time. This is from Nude Sticks. This is their Magnetic Nude Glimmers. And this is in the shade 99% Angel. And these dry really quickly, so I like to have a brush on hand ready to blend with these. And I do them literally one eye at a time because they dry very quickly. And once they are dry, them puppies are set. So like if I were to do this while the other eye was still wet, it would just dry like that, which obviously I don't love. And another thing I like to use this formula for is as a nose and lip highlighter because it's really dewy and glowy, but again, it sets. It sets down once you've blended it in, and so you have that glowy, dewy look but doesn't move. So we can do that a little bit. So I'll just go down the nose, just a little bit here, and on the cupid's bow, take my brush. Oh God, I may have applied too much. Getting a little Rudolph. Pretty. Very glowy. I'm glad I brought that out. I've said that about every single thing, but it's true. I'm excited to use that a little bit more because it is a good highlighter and it lasts. All right, let's do a little mascara moment. I've been pulling out my older mascaras recently and a lot of them are dry as a bone. Absolutely dry as a bone, need to be thrown away vibes. So let's see what we got here. Here's one I haven't used in a really long time that I used to talk about all the time and loved and still love. This is the number 7 Stay Perfect tubing mascara. This is a drugstore tubing mascara. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's even available anymore. Someone had mentioned that they thought that they discontinued it, which would really suck, but I am coming out with my own tubing mascara. So just save your coin and buy mine. Coming out on Valentine's Day. Video coming soon. I'm going to use my little Japanesque eyelash curler. I have not gotten a lash lift in many moons because I've been formulating this mascara and I don't want to, oh yeah, this is so pretty. I don't want to wear a mascara I'm making and tell you that it gives you this lift and volume if I have a lash lift. That doesn't seem fair. This is a really, really natural mascara. I forgot how much I liked this. I feel like Asian lashes or straight lashes would love this because it's so lightweight. I can tell it's a little old. Look at that length. I can tell it's a little old because it is clumping together some of my lashes, so I'm gonna use my little thing. This breaks apart your lashes if they ever get clumped together. I don't even know where I got this from. Oh, it's from Japanesque. Oh, that is pretty. I hope after this you guys go and shop your stash because there's a reason that you've kept some of that stuff. And if there isn't, then it's time to throw it in the garbage. I also like this because this wand is really, really short. It's like super short. So it can kind of get into every little nook and cranny without poking you in the eyeball. This is like the only natural or only synthetic wand besides the Hourglass tubing mascara that I like. Truly. One of the only ones I like. Look at that. The length. The length is really something. Okay, let's do some freckles. We'll finish out with lips and we'll call it a day. Obviously I'm using my freckle pen. Sorry. I have every freckle pen known to man in my drawer because obviously when I was formulating and creating this, I wanted to make sure it was better than all of them. And it is, but I don't want to use them anymore. I have the kind that you can flick and make freckles, but it gets everywhere. It gets all over your clothes and all over your desk. I have the kind that you put on your finger and then copy and paste, but I just don't like the color of it and it's like not as natural looking. And I have the regular felt tip pens and they're not, the color and the shape is not as good as this one. So obviously I created this, so I'm tooting my own horn, toot toot, but if you haven't tried this yet, what are you waiting for? We are gonna be making a bundle with this and the mascara. So if you wanna wait until the mascara comes out on Valentine's Valentine's Day, you can have a chance to get both together at a discount. So I'll keep you updated about that. I've been kind of going crazy with the freckles because it's so cold out that I just need something to make me feel warm and happy, and that is what my freckles do for me. So cute. They make me feel youthful and pretty. All right, I am gonna do a lip video after this, so we can kind of do whatever we want lip-wise vibes. And I've been doing series on shorts and on TikTok and Instagram called Wearable, my Wearable series, which is like where I do a color family and I try on all of my shades that I own that I would consider to be wearable in that shade family: pinks, mauves, reds, browns, etc. So I've really been shopping my stash when it comes to lip stuff recently because of that series, and it's been fun to kind of just like play around and see what's out there and like remember why I might have kept a certain shade, because it really, like, a certain shade might look better on me than I thought. Immediately what came to my mind just now was this, and because it matches this blush perfectly. This is from Givenchy, and this is their Rose Perfecto Liquid Lip Balm. These are so pretty. Yes, Makeup Revolution just duped this recently, but come on. Doesn't it look like a cream saver? I used to freaking love cream savers. This is in shade 117, and it is really pretty. It's this beautiful, like, rosy toned mauve. So pretty. When I bought this, I was wearing it constantly, and I haven't pulled it out in so long. It's kind of like a thick lip oil with more pigment, but not so much pigment that you feel overwhelmed by it. I want to add a little beauty mark right here. Boop. Oh, that's so cute. I've been thinking about that when I put this on. I was like, oh, let's add a little beauty mark. This is such a pretty formula. It does have like a kind of lipsticky smell to it, and also might just be old. Slay. So that might be why. This makeup is so cute. Okay, let's do a little Peach and Lily Glass Skin Veil Mist. Haven't used this in a while because I love this product. I wish the sprayer was a little bit better, but like, to even get an even mist, I have to apply that much. So it's kind of annoying, but obviously I love this product and I love what it does for the skin. And I'm just gonna tap over that to make sure my peach fuzz is put away. There's nothing wrong with peach fuzz, by the way. Sometimes you just don't want it glaring for the gods. And here is our finished look with Shop My Stash. This is really pretty, and I feel much better about the way my skin looks than I did the past couple times I've done my makeup, because it has been so dry. I literally feel like SpongeBob when he's like, water. I even used a couple different powders in this look, and I still think it turned out really glowy and beautiful. So I hope that this inspired you to pull some of your oldies but goodies out. See why you bought those things and remember why you love them, or maybe why you don't love them anymore, and then it's time to give them the old boot. I should be uploading next Saturday, but I'm honestly not positive because I'm going to be in New York for the shoot, for the campaign shoot for the mascara, and I'm gonna vlog while I'm there, so we'll definitely have a New York vlog either for this upcoming Saturday or the Saturday after that. I'll keep you updated. It depends on how much I can get done while I'm there, but I absolutely love you. I hope that you really liked this video. We'll continue to do more Get Ready With Me, more Shop My Stashes this year, and I will see you in the next one really soon. Bye.